the mental toughness blueprint. What if I told you that the secret to mental toughness isn't about being fearless, but about mastering your mind? The Stoics, warriors, emperors, and philosophers cracked the code thousands of years ago, and today you're going to learn their blueprint. Most people today are mentally fragile, stressed about things they can't control, trapped in negativity, and overwhelmed by the smallest setbacks. But that's not going to be you. By the end of this video, you'll have a Stoic mindset that makes you unshakable, no matter what life throws at you. Let's start with the foundation of mental toughness, the one rule that separates the strong from the weak. Section 1. Control what you can, ignore what you can't. Most of your stress, frustration, and anxiety come from one mistake: you're trying to control things you have no power over. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. There are two types of things in life. 1. Things you can control: your actions, responses, and mindset. 2. Things you cannot control: other people, the past, and external events. Happiness and freedom begin when you stop focusing on what's out of your hands. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire in crisis. Wars, plagues, betrayals, he faced it all. But he never wasted energy on what he couldn't change. He focused only on his response. And that made him one of history's most resilient leaders. You can do the same. Every morning, write down to lists what you can control, what you can't control. Then take 5 deep breaths and mentally let go of everything on the second list. It's time to stop being a slave to things beyond your power. But what about obstacles? What if life keeps throwing problems at you? The Stoics had an answer for that too. Section 2. Turn obstacles into fuel. What if I told you that your biggest challenges could become your greatest strengths? The Stoics had a rule: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Translation: obstacles aren't roadblocks, they're training grounds. In 1914, Thomas Edison's factory burned to the ground. Millions of dollars gone. Instead of panicking, he said, "Thank God, all our mistakes are gone. Now we can start fresh." That mindset led him to greater inventions. Try this. Think of a challenge you're facing right now. Write it down. Now list 3 ways it could make you stronger. Reframing problems as opportunities is a mental superpower. But what if fear takes over? What if you feel paralyzed by uncertainty? That's where the next Stoic technique comes in. Section 3. Master your emotions with negative visualization. Most people are terrified of bad things happening. But what if I told you that imagining the worst could actually make you stronger? The Stoics practiced something called premeditatio, malora meditative visualization. They prepared for the worst so they'd never be caught off guard. Roman generals used this before battle. They pictured every possible disaster: ambushes, starvation, betrayal. So when chaos struck, they stayed calm. Try this exercise. 1. Each morning, spend 2 minutes visualizing a worst-case scenario. 2. Imagine yourself handling it with strength. 3. Feel prepared instead of fearful. When you expect hardship, nothing surprises you, nothing breaks you. But what if your body and mind aren't tough enough? Let's talk about a Stoic technique that rewires you for discipline. Section 4. Discipline through voluntary discomfort. Comfort is the enemy of strength. If you always avoid hardship, you'll always be weak. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, choosing hardship on purpose to build resilience. Cato the Younger, a Roman philosopher, wore ragged clothes in public to train himself against shame and judgment. He wanted to be free from the opinions of others. You can do this too. For the next 3 days, challenge yourself with small discomforts. Take cold showers, fast a few hours longer than usual, sleep without a pillow. You stop running from discomfort, you become stronger than 99% of people. But what if life throws something truly terrible at you? How do you handle real loss, real pain? There's one final Stoic principle that changes everything. Section 5. Love your fate. What if, instead of resisting life's hardships, you fully embrace them? The Stoics called this amor fati, love your fate. Don't just accept what happens, love it, Nietzsche said. Not merely to bear what is necessary, but to love it. The most unshakable people aren't those who avoid suffering, the ones who see meaning in it. Try this exercise. 1. Write down something painful you've experienced. 2. Find 3 ways it made you better. 3. Instead of wishing it never happened, say, "I'm grateful for this challenge." The moment you stop resisting life, you become truly free. Freedom mental toughness isn't a trait, it's a skill. It's every time you practice, letting go of what you can't control, turning obstacles into opportunities, preparing for the worst, embracing discomfort, and loving your fate. You build an unbreakable mind. Now, here's your challenge. Pick one Stoic practice from this video and commit to it for 7 days. Comment below, what's your choice? And if you're ready to go even deeper, watch my next video on Ancient Wisdom Reveals Why Nothing Happens by Accident. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Hit subscribe. I'll see you there.